This is my Anycubic i3 Mega, and today we're going to replace a fan and add some lights. Now, when I first got this, the throat cooling fan on this side, the one that cools the heat break, it failed. Well, it didn't fail. The bearings started to growl after only a day. I think 4 or 5 prints, and then the next day I turned it on and that sound when those bearings are going. So at the time I had another fan out of an old CPU cooler from the 486 days that was a ball bearing fan and worked fine, and I put that in, and it's in there now. But it has a whine when it's running, a pitch to it, and that's a little annoying. Well, I got another fan for it, so we're going to replace that. Now, the other thing I did on this is I added a light bar up here. It's magnetically clipped in there. It's a LED strip out of an old tablet with a couple of magnets, and that just clips up in there with the magnets. And when I power the machine up, as you can see, that provides a real nice light here on the bed and front of the printer, and that looks great. When you're printing, you can sort of see what's going on. You can see that first layer without having to have a lot of light in the room. But this carriage, being a big metal box, creates a shadow underneath there. So what I'm gonna do is I got a couple of white LEDs, and when I replace this fan comes on full as soon as the hot end reaches 60°C, right? Because it's cooling the heat break, so it's always on. It's not the parts cooler. The parts cooling blower over here is controlled by the slicer and can be turned on and off depending upon whether you need cooling for the material that you're printing with or the part you're printing. But this one, as soon as that hot end hits 60°C, it comes on full. So I'm going to use its power and a couple of white LEDs on the corner of the fan underneath the hood here, pointing down at the hot end. So when I go to print, as soon as that cooling fan kicks on, I'll have a nice light underneath here to fill in that shadow. So I'll actually be able to see the hot end and see what's going on with the first layer if I want to. It'll also be good for time lapse. So that's what I'm going to do. I need to pull this hood off, and then we'll take this downstairs to the bench and replace the fan, put the LEDs on it. Let me show you how that hood comes off. I'll need to get the tools out. But there's 2 screws on top here, okay? Those 2 need to come out. And then this is a U-shaped piece of metal. And at the back bottom of the carriage, there's a screw at each corner. You take those out, and then this whole hood comes away. And then once this hood comes away, the fans are plugged into a little PC board right here, and you can unplug them. So let me get the tool out, get these screws out, and I'll show you the inside. All right, I've already taken the 2 back corner screws out. They go through the carriage, and then this front shell, which flexes up and down. So when you go to put those screws back in, you got to kind of hold that shell up, look in the back, see where the holes line up, and it's kind of tricky getting those in, just so you know when you get to that point. No need to disconnect this. You'll see in a moment that that's part of a PC board. So I loosen these. Oh, I also put a cloth down over the altar base. Good idea whenever you're working over your bed to cover that glass and protect it. And I'll just set the screws on there so I won't lose those. Now you can see that's already coming loose. Let me unscrew that screw. Alright, now the whole shell just falls away, and we have the 2 fans plugging into the 2 middle sets of connectors, and they're oriented properly. The part cooling fan is here on the left, the throat cooling fan is here on the right, so that it'll be easy to plug back in when we're done. So that just comes right out, just like that. And there's our fans. So now we'll take this down to the bench and we'll replace this fan and install some LEDs. And I'm going to mount the LEDs right here on this corner of the fan, pointing down at the hot end, which is right towards the back and in about the middle of the fan and below, so I know exactly where to aim them when I put this back in there. So that'll be easy. All right, down to the bench. Okay, we're down at the bench. This is the new fan. I'm going to wire in there. And I'm roughing out the plan for how to mount these LEDs. Now, these LEDs, I cut the ends, the domed ends off, and roughed them with a Dremel tool, so their light's going to be more diffuse. And they're going to point down here. The hot end's tip is right around here, right? Because this is where this is blowing across. So I'll angle these so that they're pointing right down there. And they're tucked up under the edge. This is a 3D printed right angle and a nylon standoff. And that's going to hold them. If I get them in under the fan about like that, that's going to hold them where they're pointing right down here where the hot end is. And from the front, you won't see these wires, obviously. They'll be hidden, so it'll just be light appearing down here where the print is going on. So that is the plan. I just have to take this old fan out and rewire this connector to the new fan and parallel in the plus and minus wires from my LEDs. And what I did for LEDs, they're two white LEDs on a little PC board with a 220 ohm resistor, so about 30 milliamps of current flows through them, and that provides plenty of light. And they are in series, so yeah, they'll be plenty bright. And this little 3D printed right angle that I nipped so it would let me get it under that fan. I could print one that was deeper, but I had these already printed and I've got the printer apart, so I just went ahead and used this and just nipped it so it'll work for this application. Okay, we're all hooked up and wired up and ready to go. And as you can see, there's my two new lights. Wire out of the way, and they are aiming right about here, which is where the hot end's going to be. Mounted right there under the fan, wired in with the fan. You can't see it. Well, maybe you can if I pull this out. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's all nice and heat shrinked in there. Insulated and heat shrinked and done right. Nothing's going to short, nothing's going to burn up. And that should work. So let's go put this back on the printer and let's fire it up and see what it looks like. Alright, I have everything installed, all nice and neat. All the wires are routed out of the way, everything looks good. Yeah, we're good. Okay, and I've got this benchy sitting right about where the hot end is. Now I'm going to dim the lights in here a little bit, turn off my extra light. So now we're just seeing the light from the printer, and you can see, you know, how that's in shadow under the hot end. So I'm going to set the extruder temp to 170. It's going to start rising, and when it hits 60, that fan should kick on. And when that fan kicks on, the light should kick on, and we'll see how well the part's lit. So there's 28, 33, 37, we're getting close, 43, 50, here it comes, 56, look at that. Isn't that awesome? I can hear the fan running. It's drawing plenty of air. I can feel the air moving through the shield, so it's blowing right across the throat. And look how that's lit up right at the print area. So that is going to work just wonderfully. So there we go. Not only have I replaced my fan with a little bit quieter fan, but I have all the way through lighting solution now. You can see there's hardly any shadow there when I move my hand through. We get good light. As long as that fan's running, we got light. So there you go. That's the latest upgrade here on the i3 Mega. I guess I'll do a print now.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.